talking about how you think it's crazy that this is Green Day.
Why is it crazy?
It sounds nothing like the Green Day that we all came to know and love.
Old Dead American Idiot?
No, but probably more so than that. It's like each time they're like gradually getting further away from that. They're going for this like more U2 grandiose.
It all started with, what was the graduation song?
Oh, the Time of Your Life?
Yeah.
Okay.
Time of Your Life. That's when Green Day started to be
different.
Yeah, something else besides Green Day.
Before that, you had Brain Stew.
Mm-hmm.
You had the... I forgot the song, but it's on the Angus soundtrack. That was a cool song.
J.A.R.?
I don't remember.
I thought it was, yeah.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's some good songs.
I like that movie.
Angus? I never saw Angus.
I don't think I've seen all of it.
Was it kind of like a Lucas?
Angus was kind of like Lucas, but Lucas, I don't think you ever saw Lucas's family. Angus, I think his mom was Kathy Bates, and I think his grandfather was George C. Scott. So where Lucas didn't have parental figures, well, Lucas I think had a drunken father, because remember Lucas was always like lying to that chick in the Goonies about where he came from and all that. You find out that his dad was a drunk and all that stuff. But Angus was like a fat Lucas, but he had like a crotchety old grandpa, you know, to kind of give him advice. I wouldn't say as good as Lucas. Winona Ryder, I felt, was pretty hot in Lucas. She was the chick in Lucas where it was like she's supposed to be like the wallflower. It's one of the things I hate the most in movies. Like where you have like a chick who's not supposed to be unconventionally hot, and she's like the nerdy wallflower. Then, at the end of the movie, you know, main protagonist,
of course,
discovers like, wow, what a beauty she is. And Winona Ryder was perfect for that in Lucas because she was that geeky band player with Lucas. But Lucas, man, how could you not understand that you had this hot chick and you were pining after that preppy chick? Winona Ryder was clearly hotter than the chick from the Goonies, I feel. But I enjoy Lucas. I feel it's a good movie in the 80s.
Have you ever seen Heathers?
I have seen Heathers.
That's a good movie.
Heathers is a good movie.
Winona Ryder shoots a dude in the face, right?
I believe she blows his finger off first, then blows up the school.
No. She shoots a dude and kills him. Because that dude gives her the gun and he's like, here, these are rubber bullets.
Yeah, that's right.
And then she shoots him.
In the forest, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she's freaking out because she thought that the gun was for her and it wasn't.
Okay. I actually watched Scanner Darkly the other night, which I've seen many times. But,
love that movie. I only saw it once. I love that movie.
It is, I feel, a phenomenal movie. I think it took the principles and the coolness of Waking Life and upped it up a notch.
Right. The principles are there, too.
I like Waking Life, but I don't feel like it's as breakthrough as Slacker or Days Confused or anything like that. I think Waking Life is a good movie. I just think A Scanner Darkly is better. And it was nice to see Winona Ryder in there. It was nice to see Keanu Reeves utilize.
Scanner Darkly was, more of a movie than Waking Life was. Waking Life, it almost had this documentary kind of like feel to it.
Well, my problem with Waking Life is, would it be interesting if it wasn't rotoscoped? But I think what sold me on A Scanner Darkly, aside from the beginning, which I felt was phenomenal, with Roy Cochran in the shower, like trying to get the bugs out of his head.
Right.
It actually was, every scene with him, I was just sold on the movie because, he was classic as Slater. What kid in Munster did not try and imitate being Slater from Days Confused?
A very real, almost psychedelic-esque feel to it. I can't explain it. It's just very surreal and very real at the same time.
Now, Mark, Waking Life versus Scanner Darkly. I know you were a big Waking Life fan.
I don't know. I saw Scanner Darkly once. It was a good movie. It was a movie. It's hard to compare the two because Waking Life is more like philosophy. It's almost like something your teacher would show you in a college class. You know what I mean? It's just about getting you to think. It's more on the level with like that than like a movie. As a movie itself, it's got, you know, the filmography is pretty neat, like some of the stuff they do. It's got some good musical scenes. The introductory scene with the violin.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a really cool scene. So there's some good stuff in there, but like, you know, it's not that much of a, I don't know. The story is like second to it. I mean, the story, the kid doesn't even talk until like 40 minutes in.
Yeah.
It's a lot of like, it's like, it's almost like going to, you know, see like an order, like just give a speech on a subject. And there's like a bunch of scenes like that, but it's in more casual settings, like over coffee or like in bed.
Which I like, but I mean, my whole thing is like the style versus substance of it.
The whole story was just the medium for getting these points across, but not. It wasn't trying to be this
like
grandiose story.
Talking about like what gets someone to go to the actual movie theater from seeing a commercial and all that. A lot of times they really get you. They really, really get you. Like, you'll still see a trailer or a commercial for a movie and think like it's something that's really not. Like, they got me with 1408, that John Cusack, Stephen King hotel ghost movie. The trailers made it look like this was going to be like The Exorcist of 2007 or whatever, and I was thoroughly disappointed. But I was able to be like, you know, that was a really good marketing campaign because you sold me into thinking that it was something that it wasn't. And The Matrix, the way it was presented, it was a little bit more like pop, and I wanted it to be more pop because I wasn't expecting, and that's kind of like, you know, me being naive and a dumbass about it, but I almost expected the world and the possibilities that were presented in The Matrix to be there earlier. So once you have like the big scene of like Trinity running from that hotel and the cops and all that stuff, I was like, you know, this is pretty cool. But like once you get to the whole like, you know, Thomas Anderson pulling Neo into that world, it was really kind of boring for me. But I did see The Matrix in the theater. I didn't think it was that cool until, you know, he actually gets jacked into the Matrix and, you know, he comes out, he gets like reborn and all that stuff.
Right.
I didn't think that it was that cool up until then.
I had no idea what was going on actually up until then. Like, we about to take the pills and like then he's in the battery capsule. I'm like, what the?
Well, I mean, I just think that it's one of those things where right as soon as I'm like, you know what, The Matrix, this could be cool, it ends. So it's like, oh, you know, I've got to see the sequel to like get the continuation of what's going on here.
What's so bad about that?
And by the time Matrix Revolutions, was it Revolutions the second one? Was it Matrix Reloaded was the second one?
Yeah.
Okay, once
Revolutions
Matrix
was the third
Reloaded
one.
came out, it was like the same. It was the same kind of thing where you've got Neo with all these powers, but we're just going to have the movie start off just boring, slow. We're going to introduce you to Zion, which is the most disappointing set of all time. I know this is the end of the world and this is like humanity's last hope, but that rave was really bad. I just don't think that a cool freeway chase justifies this movie being any good. And I didn't even see all of the third one because I was so burned by the second Matrix, but I did see how it ended, and I am glad that I did not invest 2 hours of my time in seeing the third Matrix. I think The Matrix had a lot of possibility, a lot of potential, and they just didn't develop it.
It was action freaking packed. That's what I'd say. First one was the best like story. Second one had all the karate, and the third one had all the guns.
So where do you think you're going, Josh?
I'm leaving
Why?
because I want to.
I don't think that's true. I think you're going to stay a little bit longer.
Oh, yeah.
What's the rush? What's the rush?
Why are you
The tummy ache.
Why are you leaving so early? Let's drink some water, man. Some
Yeah,
water.
drink some water. You got some water right there, buddy.
I've drank some water. I've made up my mind.
Why don't you play a song in the jukebox?
Shut the hell up.